Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. Um, okay, thank you for the reaction. Mm, so let me step directly to go to the introduction. But before starting, for those who didn't join the standard, how was your past week? We would love if you share us one insight from what you have done last week. That's possible to share on the comment box also. Okay, thank you, Norm. So here we are in another beginning, which is the week 3. So can you show me a reaction that how do you feel and the energy level that you have? You can send an emoji. Okay. Thank you for the reactions also. Let me directly start the challenge introduction. I'm present my screen so you can see. Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. So my screen is also visible. Okay, so let's start with the today's challenge. So we are going to have an into insurance risk analytics and predictive modeling tasks. So you are expected to be a data analyst for the Alpha Care insurance company who wants to identify this insurance risk customers and to segment those that have high risk and those that have low risk in the insurance terms. That means risk in a sense, if you are trying to claim multiple times, or let's say you have a car and you register to any of the insurance that are available here, and once when you come a customer for them, you will register with that with the initial price, which is called the premium, and you will pay that premium, and they will give you the insurance period. That means how long that this policy will persist with them. For how long, if you're, it's kind of guarantee things that they will guarantee you and your machines, your car, for how long. That means maybe they can give you 1 year or they might give you a 6 months to see if you are the first time client. So on that space, you will pay the initial premium one and you start driving. So you have the insurance, you are aware of that, and you made an accident one day within the time frame that they have given to you. So what is going to be happen is you will claim to the insurance that you have an accident, so they have to reimburse or they have to repair your car for you based on the insurance policy that you had together. So, with that claim for the insurer or for the one for the company called AlphaCare, if you claim more time this insurance, your premium payment might not be enough. That means this leads them to um, debt or that doesn't make them profitable. So what are you going to do with that is for the insurance company, you need to identify those customers that doesn't have too many accidents or too many insurance claim for the insurance company so that they can make profit. So sometimes these insurance companies may say that we will not insure this and that, but that may be included on your terms and conditions. So having this in mind, what we are trying to do or what we are trying to solve Alpha Care solution is we need a data-driven decision to select or to segment these customers, those who are risk-free, or in terms of risk is those who doesn't have any accident, or those who have high risk means those who have made too many accidents and too many insurance claims. So in order to do this, the company wants a, a marketing that's a targeted marketing that's to attract this clients that have low risk, and the premium on the other side you have to pay some premium. That means to be competitive enough in this environment or in the insurance sector, the one thing that client can see is the premium amount that they need to pay. So if that payment is fair enough for them to pay with either annually or monthly, they will subscribe for your solution. If not, they will find another insurance company that will give similar service. So for that, they want a marketing strategy and a premium pricing that makes them profitable. So today we will go and solve this issue with the capabilities that we have so far in data analytics, modeling customers, and we know that how computers can learn and how can we make these effective decisions for the Alpha Care solution to give them um, a client that makes them profitable. So basically what you need to understand from this challenge will be what's the insurance terminology later. Previously I have seen that some of the things have been shared, but most common terms have been included here, so you can refer to them. What does it mean by claim? What does it mean by policy? What does it mean by premium in the insurance sense? And on the other side, we have the hypothesis testing. And if you know brokers here in Ethiopia, they may say like they have this hypothesis: if the car is owned by female or the driver is female, less likely to have accident and the car is neat and clean. So you can have this kind of hypothesis and you can make a null hypothesis that you might reject or accept later on after your analysis, like females doesn't claim too much, but the data will show you whether to accept this hypothesis or not. Or you can say that mm, both male and females above certain age might that doesn't have this high claim for insurance, so they are a low risk customer. You can say that, but you have to prove that one. How do you prove? This is the way we call it. Uh, we have to use A/B testing. That means you have to have multiple scenarios where you can validate based on the data that you have. So from the data that's given to us, we can infer this hypothesis testing, and we can help the alpha care solution in terms of the giving targeted customers who have low risk. So the other side, we need to develop a machine learning model that can predict the optimal premium values. And from those who have claimed and asked for premium for insurance to insure them, and they have asked certain money, and they might be deductible there that they need to contribute that from their pocket. But the the main focus for you is the one that the alpha cares cover for the client. So what amount is suitable uh, to be set as a premium value to make this alpha care company profitable? So based on that, we have a certain car feature or a set of features that you can drive from the existing data, and you will train a predictive model that can predict the premium amount. So what your final report should have to include is what's the methodology that you used, and what's the finding that you get from the analysis, and the recommendation on the plan and the features that could modify and enhance this the test result, and that makes it alpha care solution to be more profitable by meeting these customer needs and product preference. So, as I've talked earlier, the main motivation behind this challenge is to make you aware of what's just uh, the insurance domain, plus what's the how do you manage this complex data set, how do you adapt new challenges, and how do you think creatively. So the other consideration that needs to be considered in this challenge is your creativity matters, because the task needs more and more uh, deeper understanding of your client, and giving a solution that make the companies profitable. So uh, creativity is the other motivation that you need to do, and hypothesis testing. Even if we have doing this hypothesis testing multiple times in our day-to-day life, but we need to know that this hypothesis testing are applicable for other scenario of life, or in your all problem solving tasks. A/B testing or hypothesis testing are relevant. And you will have this predictive analytics. That is the last thing and the last motivation behind for you to master these specific things. We need this challenge. So based on the historical alpha care company data that's collected from February 2024, 2014 to February 2015. And the data is attached here. You can find it that zip file, and there are columns regarding to it. Sorry for the deformation here, but you have the transaction date and the underwritten cover ID and the policy ID related to the insurance policy that is given to the specific client, and also the information that are related to the client. That means, is he VAT registered, or does it have the citizenship of South Africa? What's the legal type, title, and the language that is speak, bank, the account type, and related informations are included, and also location indicators are there. Plus to that, the item type, the car that is insured, since uh, what's in insurance is not only for cars. Insurance can be for health. Insurance can be for life. Insurance can be for homeowners. So this specific challenge will address a car insurance issue, but uh, this can be applicable into multiple scenarios that you have, but with different data. So since we are dealing with car insurance data, we will have the car information about the car's full information, and also what's the plan, what's the frequency, and what's the coverage category that's included on the policy. So, and also we have about the payment and claim columns indicators, that the total premium, the total claims that the client made. So based on that, you will start learning or understanding what the provided data have, and you will help to extract this useful insight. You will explore what's the different technique, algorithm, and statistical distribution, what's sampling with regarding to this visualization techniques. You will have all in one understanding with regarding to this insurance data. And in addition to that, it's allowed for you to explore more options. That means more other solutions that are related to this, that will answer, that will make the AlphaCat solution marketing strategy effective. You can use additional methods and tools or techniques that will solve the problem. So that's open to you. And as I've said earlier, this task needs your creativity more. So rather than doing a certain EDA, plotting things and doing this and that, what's asked on the tasks, but it's more about understanding the problem and translating that into a real solution that will help the advocate. And throughout this, you will learn on how to code, and your code should be deployment ready or production ready. Code should have to be written in, which means that it should have to be easy to maintain. It have to have a documentation. That means doc strings and others should have to be included, and you have to justify what techniques or what algorithm that you have used on the EDA part, and you will understand based on that thing. Doing that, you will understand how this data structure and algorithms are essential for the EDA and for your machine learning pipeline. And from the statistical thinking perspective, since you are trying to prove and disprove the initial hypothesis, you have a chance to go with this A/B testing. What does it mean? What's the chi-square value? What does it mean by p-value and z-score? So you will have the understanding of these statistical models, how they predict and analyze the data that you have, the features that you have provided to them. And we know that this machine learning application learns from data. That means you have a data, and from that data you will have features, and from those features the model will start to analyze patterns from it and try to answer or try to correlate what's there. Let's say I am seeing pattern on age, so people who are like between 20 to 30 are making more claims because they have accidents. And so I can say that next time when you accept these people, you have to add 10% of the premium for this, and this will help the alpha care company to make profit out of what's the service that they are giving. But that might not be always true, because people in certain area might be somehow responsible, and within that age also they didn't have this claim. So your machine learning model should needs to be updated with that as well. So in order to balance this, your hypothesis might not be restricted to one specific area. Um, machine learning model will have this holistic image of the data that you have given, and it will either say this premium amount is enough, or um, giving this targeting this group of people will be will make you profitable. So in A/B testing, you can simply check one or two scenarios in one place, but when you model machine learning model or develop this machine learning model, they will give you a holistic approach or holistic view of the data that you have and the correlation that they have. And if you perform this feature importance, which features are more important from the observed data uh, to do that decision, will be the clear facts that shows you um, how you have to approach the client. And on the other side, we have added this data versioning since these data are not static. That means they are changing every time. So while training this machine learning model, you have a checkpoints that says, oh, okay, this is the learning that I have learned on the first deploy. This is the learning that I have learned on the second iteration. This is the learning that I have learned on the last iteration. And this is the result that I have. As these checkpoints are useful for later on maintaining the model or seeing the model performance, explaining what it have done, and to have these explainable machine learning models, you need to have the machine learning checkpoints, the model checkpoints. The same is true for the data. The data, one thing which we need to consider is the data is the crucial thing for machine learning model to learn what is there or to find pattern from the data, the given data. So we need to version the data. That insurance, as I've said earlier, this insurance data is from February 2014 to February, August 2015. We have another year data that is from August 2015 to August 2016. So you have to version your data based on the date or some kind of versioning mechanism. If not, you can dump all the things together, and you will not see the change, or what it becomes hard to modify the data or to know where the issue came from. Sometimes, as you know, the models can predict badly, and the company be trying to go down. So you have to save the company. You have to check the data. You have to check the model health. So when that comes, which data caused that issue, you have to check from the data perspective. So this data versioning is equivalent to the code versioning tool that you are trying to use to submit your GitHub code. So it's similar with GitHub. So having the advantage of having GitHub for any programmer is uncountable. So having this data versioning will be also uncountable advantage for you who are trying to develop industry standard machine learning models. So as usual, we will have the themes, and there are suggestions on the dates, but we will change that one to Sunday, and it will be updated. Uh, so the interim submission will be on Sunday, and the final submission will be on Tuesday, next Tuesday. When we came to tasks, so what's expected from you is to create a new GitHub repository that have a good README, that have a version control CI/CD implemented on it. And last time we have started to run the requirements to text on our GitHub action. Now this time we have to upgrade ourselves and to include this to run tests and additional um, test functions to our tests because these are the important things when you became a professional who deliver industry standard projects. So let's follow that and having this good commit history, good commit messages are crucial ones. So try to do that with the GitHub usage. And on the second task, you will have a project planning and the idea step where you have asked to do exploratory analysis. Just first, you have to understand the data, then exploratory analysis. These are a couple of questions that you need to answer while analyzing the data, the distribution or loss ratio, or is there any varying with variation with this province or vehicle type or gender. So you can see trends patterns from that. And on the other side, what's the which vehicle makes the model more associated with the highest risk or the highest claim? You can think of these questions as a starter, but you may have many questions answered while you are trying to do the EDA part and try to think statistically. That means statistics wise, what does the data say? Um, Based on the observation that I get, what does it mean to me? And what does it mean to the alpha care? So for that we will have a KPI, which is the EDA techniques and how you demonstrate the understanding by using these suitable statistical distributions, plots, or evidence. So these are the things that you can perform, but please don't be limited to what's asked here. Try to explore more what can be found from the data as well. And for task two, you will have to have this reproducible and auditable data pipeline, which is by using this DVC. So you need to install DVC, you need to version the data using DVC. And since reproducibility and auditability are the important factors because when the auditor comes and see what's there and the decision that you have made and the profit that they gain, they need to check what is the pipeline that you have. So the data input should have to be controlled and as your code is also controlled. So we will have DVC there. We need to install DVC into your local model. Then after doing this installation, you will go you will include this into your remote files so you don't have to push all the things that you have in terms of data, but you have to push the reference to your data. So when we came to the task 3, which is how can you statistically validate or reject or accept the hypothesis, which means that if I say X person have high risk, so that will not make alpha care solution profitable, I have to justify that. How do I justify? First, I need to formulate a null hypothesis that might say there is no risk difference across this age or risk difference across province. That means in urban or rural area, or I can have so many hypotheses there and I have to validate them. When you say validate, what's the a statistical significant value of saying there is no difference across gender and there is no difference across state or province. I have to mention that. Let's see that in an example. Let's say you have a task to finish today, end of day, or to submit the entry, the final submission for week two. So, and you can have two version of task lists. Let's say you have simply bullet point each tasks. What's near, what's left. Let's say I have to do task two first. I have to complete the report. I have to push it to GitHub. I have to do Lindazi. I have to do that. And on the other version of your listing, you can prioritize these tasks. Let's say first I have to do task two, then I have to do task four, then I have to go back to task three, then I have to compile the report based on that, and I have to submit the submission at this time. And you label them as urgent, important, and optional. Now you see the second one is more structured than the first one, and you have this task listing and you get to start what's done. So today's morning I have to list A and list B, and I try to do the tasks, and at the end of the day I try to audit what I have done so far. So if the listing A helps me to achieve or to complete all tasks or that I have noted on the list, so that's great. That means I can go with what works. Or if task two is, or listing two, which is the one that I have structured, prioritized, and labeled them as an urgent or important or optional. And if that listing helped me to finish the task, then I will go and say a structured task listing will be an evidence for me to complete tasks on time. So later on, I will use that for a more complex tasks that I have and to list these tasks and to categorize them into multiple prioritization lists. So hypothesis testing is also similar to in this example. You have a null hypothesis there where you need to prove, and are, let's say these claims are higher in province A versus in province B. You have to check that. What is the data statistics shows you? Is there any significant difference, and how can you translate that to also the business recommendation? So this is the other core things that you have in this challenge to understand and to learn. And after that, you will going to have the task four, which is the modeling this predictive model that can dynamically assign this risk-based pricing system, or that can label the claim. So for that, you will have the overall all claim severity prediction, which is the policy that have the claim to build a predictive model that's the total amount and estimate the financial liability associated with that policy. So here are the formulas that are stated, and the evaluation metrics will be the root mean square error, and which penalize the prediction error, and you can use also the R square, but premium optimization is the other models that you need to have. So these two things are must be included in your model development stage. So for that, you will select any of the models from the existing models, either regression models or like decision tree or linear regression. random forest or radian boosts, and you will build the model based on the data that you have. And these are some of the steps for the data preparation that you will follow. But as I told you earlier, please feel free to add additional things or derived features, most important features from the features that you get. And the other thing is the model evaluation based on the evaluation that you have performed. Try to report it in confusion matrix that shows the accuracy and precision. And the future importance is the crucial thing or the main thing with features that influence the prediction retention and which feature have the impact on the prediction. And for more explainable AI or explainable machine learning, you will use this shape or line to interpret what's the model prediction and understand how this individual feature influences the outcome of the model. So why is this important? Because modeling the features gives you the holistic approach to see the data, and hypothesis testing will specifically a specific approach to test a specific scenario. So based on that, we will expect you to do this minimum essential tasks. That means building at least one model and evaluating that and reporting its interpretability. So the interim submission will be on Sunday, and you are expected to submit task one and task two, and your interim report should have to include the task one, task two, what you have done, what's the business need, what does the methodology that you have chosen, and why you choose them. You can include that, and for the final, try to include a brief non-technical overview of the project and the description of your analytics approach, most important insights from your EDA, hypothesis testing and modeling, and concrete data suggestion for the insurance company marketing and pricing strategy. So you can add the acknowledgement and model limitation and suggestion for future work, and your GitHub should have to show all the tasks that you have done in the previous one. On the other side, so these are the other consideration that we have: the documentation, collaboration, communication, flexibility. If you get stuck, if you have something, please try to share them on a resource that are useful. Please try to share them on all resource. If you have any issues, try to collaborate with your friends and with the tutors as well. And as much as you can, try to be professional to explain what you have done. So for the tutorial schedule, these are the tutorial schedules that we will have for this week, and these are a reference that may help you to understand the concepts that are stated on the above. Tasks and Alpha Care Insurance Company need. So based on that, are we aligned? Do you have any question, or do you have understood where to start, or you have an idea about what's the things that are asked on week three, and you have a clue on where to start? Is that clear? Is there any question? Masfin.
Okay, thank you for your tutorial lectures. It's good, but I have one recommendation, if possible,
Okay.
just to get the. We understand by reading more these documents, but I think it's better to summarize within 1 minute or 2 minutes by Amharic, the core point of this project. Thank you.
Okay. That's possible, but some of them have asked that these things are not helpful for them. Just we thought English was the communication medium for us, but let me try to go back to Amharic. Now, let me say what you have said. ምንድነው ሀሳቡ መሰለህ? ሁሉንም የሚያካትት እንዲሆን እንፈልጋለን ትሬኒንጉ። ስለዚህ እንግሊዝኛ የተሻለ ይሆናል ብለን ስላሰብን ነው። ኦር ሰጀስሽን ከእናንተም ስለመጣ ነው። ኤኒዌይስ ዊክ ስሪን አንደርስታንድ ለማድረግ የሚጠበቅብህ ምንድን ነው? አላማው ሁለት ነገር ነው። አንደኛው ምን አይነት ይሄ ኢንሹራንስ ክፍያ መጀመሪያ ኢንሹራንስ ዋን ታይም ለመመዝገብ ስትሄድ የምትከፍለው ክፍያ ምን ያክል መሆን አለበት? ሁለተኛ ደግሞ ለማን? ለምሳሌ የሆነ ክላይንት መጣ፣ የሆነ መኪና ይዞ ያ ክላይንት መጣና ኢንሹራንስ መግባት ለመኪና ይፈልጋለሁ አለ። ቤዝድ ኦን ሰርቴን ኢንፎርሜሽን ዩ ካን ዲሳይድ ቱ ጊቭ ሂም 10,000 ኦር 5,000 ኦር 25,000 ልታስከፍለው ትችላለህ። እድሜውን አይተህ የመኪናውን እድሜ፣ የመኪናውን ያለውን አቋም፣ የመኪናውን የተለያየ ኢንፎርሜሽን። ግን ይሄ ሰውዬ የአንድ አመት ኮንትራት ሰጠኸው። ለአንድ አመት ኢንሹርድ እና ፉል ኢንሹራንስ አለ። ስለዚህ በዚህ አንድ አመት ጊዜ ውስጥ ሰውየው አለምንም ሀሳብ ይነዳል ማለት ነው። እየነዳ በመሀል አክሲደንት ገጠመው። ኢንሹራንስ ሄዶ ክሌም ማድረግ አለበት። ኢንሹራንስ ሄዶ ክሌም ሲያደርግ ምንድን ነው የሚመጣው? እንደ ሪከርድ ሬጅስተር ይደረግበታል። ከዛ ኔክስት አመት ኦር የሚቀጥለው አመት ኢንሹራንስ ሬጅስተር ለማድረግ ሲሄድ ይሄኛው ፋይሉ ቼክ ይደረግና ይሄ ሰውዬ ባለፈው አመት አንድ ኦር ሁለት ኦር ሶስት አክሲደንት አድርሶ የኢንሹራንስ ካምፓኒውን ክፍያ ጠይቋል፣ የኢንሹራንስ ክፍያ ጠይቋል። ስለዚህ ይሄ ሰውዬ ምን ይመስልሃል ባንተ እንትን ለዛ ኢንሹራንስ ካምፓኒ ጥሩ ክላይንት ነው? ሃይ ሪስክ ክላይንት ነው? ስለዚህ ይሄ ሰውዬ ሃይ ሪስክ ክላይንት ነው። ሶ ኢንሹራንሶች አድቨርታይዝ ሲያደርጉ እነኚህን ሃይ ሪስክ የሚባሉ ክላይንቶችን አትራክት ማድረግ የለባቸውም። ግን አስማች ስቴካን ሎ ሪስክ የሚባሉ ክላይንቶችን ወይም አንድም አደጋ ሳያደርስ ኢንሹራንሱን ክሌም ሳይጠይቅ ምናምን ያለፈ ክላይንት will be more interesting than the one who made accident። ስለዚህ ከሁለቱ የተሻለውን ታርጌት ለማድረግ የሚያደርግ ማርኬቲንግ ስትራቴጂ ይፈልጋሉ። ለምሳሌ ከተማ ያለ ሰው ሞር ገጠር ካለ ሰው አንጻር አደጋ ያደርሳል አልክ፣ እንዴት የሚለውን መመለስ አለበት። ስለዚህ እንዴት የሚለውን ኤቪዴንስ እናደርግና የከተማ ያሉትን ትወስዳለህ ሳምፕል፣ ገጠር ያሉትንም ትወስዳለህ። ከዛ ከነሱ የወሰድከውን ሳምፕል ስንቶቹ ኢንሹራንስ ክሌም አድርገዋል፣ ስንቶቹ ደግሞ ኢንሹራንስ ክሌም አላደረገው የሚለውን ስታቲስቲካሊ ታያለህ። ከዛ ከተማ ያሉት አያደርሱም፣ ከተማ ያሉት ያደርሳሉ እና ገጠር ያሉት አያደርሱም የሚለውም እንትንህን ሃይፖቴሲስን አይዘር ፕሩፍ ኦር ዲስፕሩፍ ታደርጋለህ ማለት ነው። ይሄ አንደኛው ስቴፕ ነው። ከዛ ለማርኬቲንግ ቲሙ ምን ሪኮሜንዴሽን ይኖራል? ለምሳሌ ከተማ ያሉ ሰዎች አደጋ ስለሚያደርሱ ገጠር ያሉትን ሰዎች ታርጌት ብታደርግ ሞር ኢፌክቲቭ ትሆናለህ በዚህ ፕራይሲንግ ብለህ ይሄን ሪኮሜንዴሽን ስትሰጥ እነሱ ደግሞ ገጠር ያሉትን ሰዎች ታርጌት ለማድረግ ማርኬቲንግ ስትራቴጂ ይነድፋሉ ማለት ነው። ሶ ይሄኛው አንዱ ወይ ነው። ሁለተኛው ወይ ደግሞ ሁለተኛው ኮንሲደሬሽን ወይም ሳይሆን ሁለተኛው ኮንሲደሬሽን ደግሞ ፕራይስ ነው። ፕራይስ ለምሳሌ የቅድሙን ሰውዬ ብንይዘው ሁለቴ ኦር ሶስቴ አደጋ አድርሶ ከኢንሹራንስ ካምፓኒው ክሌም ተቀብሏል። ከዛ ኔክስት ሲመጣ በኔክስት ይር የዚህ ሰውዬ የኢንሹራንስ ክፍያ ስንት መሆን አለበት? ለምሳሌ በአሁኑ 10,000 ብር ከፍሎ ከሆነ ኔክስት መክፈል ያለበት 20 ወር ምናምን ሺህ ነው። የባለፈውን ማካካስ ስላለበት ፕላስ ደግሞ ይሄኛው ሰውዬ ሪሊያብል ክላይንት ስላልሆነ ለኔክስት ለሚመጣው you have to be penalized ወይም የተወሰነ መቀጣት አለበት። ስለዚህ ተጨማሪ የካምፓኒውን ፕሮፊት ማርጅን ሳይነካ ግን ተጨማሪ ፕሪሚየም ፔመንት ትጨምራለህ። ከዛ ልክ ፕሪሚየም ፔመንት ስትጨምር ደግሞ ምን ኢሹ ይዞ ይመጣል? ይሄኛው ሰውዬ ሌላ ኦልተርኔቲቭ ኢንሹራንስ ካምፓኒዎች ጋር የመሄድ ፕሮባቢሊቲ ይኖራል። ምክንያቱም አንተ ፕራይስ ጨምረህበታል። ስለዚህ ከአንተ ዝቅ ያለ አማራጭ የመፈለግ መብት አለው፣ ይሄዳል። ሶ ያንን ከስተመር ሪቴይል ለማድረግ ሪዝነብል የሚባለው ፕራይስ ሞዴሊንግ የትኛው ነው የሚለውን ደግሞ ቼክ ለማድረግ ዩ ሃቭ ቱ ሞዴል ሰርቴን ሞዴል እና ዳት ካን ሲ ፓተርን አይቶ ፕሪቪየስሊ ከነበረው እንዲህ የሆኑት እንዲህ የማድረግ ካፓቢሊቲ ያላቸው እንዲህ የሆኑት እንዲህ ያደርጋሉ የሚል ሞዴል ሪዝን አውት አድርገህ ቢውልድ አድርገህ ትጠብቀዋለህ። ልክ ኔክስት ሲመጣ ቤዝዶን ይሄ ሂስቶሪካል ዴታ ያንተ ፕሪሚየም ቫሊዩ በዚህ ጨምሯል፣ ካምፓኒውንም ፕሮፊታብል ያደርጋል፣ ሰውየውንም ብዙ አይጎዳም። ስለዚህ ክላይንትህንም ካምፓኒህንም ትጠብቃለህ በዚህ መልኩ ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ እንደ አንድ ዴታ ሳይንቲስት የምታውቀው ይሄ ሞዴል ዴቨሎፕ ማድረጉ ኢዲኤ መስራቱ ምናምን ሹድ ሃቭ ቱ ቢ ትራንስሌትድ ቱ እነኚህ ሁለቱ ፖይንቶች። የትኛውንም ሞዴል ሰራን፣ ማሽን ለርኒንግ ሊኒየር ሪግሬሽንም ሰራን፣ አኪሬሲው 100 ሆነ ኦር አኪሬሲው 50 ሆነ፣ ራንደም ፎረስትም ተጠቀም ከአኪሬሲው 100 ኦር 50 ሆነ፣ ምን ማለት ነው? ኢንሹራንስ ፕራይሲንጉ ላይ ምን ያመጣል? እነኚህን ሰዎች ታርጌት ለማድረግስ የትኛው ይጠቅመኛል፣ የትኛው ነው የሚጠቅመኝ ቫልዩ የሚለው ማሳየት ያለብህ ራዘር ዛን ዱዊንግ ኮድ ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ኮድ ላይ ሁላችንም ዊኖስ ኢዲኤ እስከዛሬ ስንሰራ የነበርንበት ዴታ ሎድ እናደርጋለን፣ ክሊን አድርገን ይሄ ዴታ ስታቲስቲክሱን ቼክ እናደርጋለን። ሚን ሚዲያን አቨሬጅ ምን አለ ምን የለም፣ ይኸው አንዩዥዋል ፓተርን አለ የለም የሚለውን። ከዛ የአደር ቲንግ ወይም ኢሴንሻል ቲንግ ዴታ ቨርዥን ማድረግ ነው። ሞዴል ትሬን ስናደርግ ለምሳሌ የመጀመሪያው ዴታ በአንድ አመት ዴታ ትሬን ተደረገ። ኔክስት ይር ይሄ ካምፓኒ የሁለት አመት ዴታ ነው፣ የዚህ አመት እና የባለፈው አመት ተመዝጋቢዎች ዴታ። ስለዚህ ሁለቱን ኮምባይን ያደረገ ደግሞ ሌላ ዴታ ቨርዥን ሊኖረው ይገባል፣ ቼክ ፖይንቶች ሊኖሩት ይገባል ለዴታው። ከዛ ሶስተኛ አመትም ሲደግም እንደዛው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ 3 አመት ተመሳሳይ ዴታ ያለው እና የ3 አመት ፓተርን የለመደ እና የ1 አመት ፓተርን የለመደ ሞዴል ተመሳሳይ አይነት ሪዛልት አይሰጥም። ስለዚህ ያንን ሪዛልት ሜዥር ማድረግ፣ ከዛ ይሄ ምን ይሰጥሃል መሰለህ? እያንዳንዱን ሞዴሊንግህን ሪሊያብል ያደርገዋል። ለምሳሌ አሁን ማሽን ለርኒንግ ሞዴሎች ብዙ የሚጠሉት ለምንድን ነው? ሪሊያብል አይደሉም፣ እንዴት እንደሚሰሩ አይታወቁም። ኤአይ ቢሃይንድ ኤአይ አሁን ብዙ እናወራለን። ኤአይ እንኳን ቢሃይንድ እሱ ብላክ ቦክስ ነው፣ አናውቀውም። እንዲህ ነው እንደዛ ነው። ብላክ ቦክስ የለም። ለኤአይ ምንድነው? ፓተርን ነው። ለምሳሌ ትላንትና ሀው ቱ ዱ ዚስ ቻሌንጅ ብለህ ጠይቀው ከነበረ ዛሬ የሚነግርህ ከዛኛው የቀጠለ ወሬ ነው የሚያወራልን። ምክንያቱም መስማት የምፈልገው ስለዛ ቻሌንጅ ስለሆነ የምጠይቀው ያንተን ፓተርን እየተከተለ ነው የሚነግርህ። ስለዚህ ከዴታ ነው ፓተርን ነው የምንማረው። ሞዴሎችም ከዴታ ነው ፓተርን እየተማሩ የሚሄዱት፣ ያንን መልስ ነው እየሰጡ የሚሄዱት። ሶ ያ ዴታ ኢዝ ኢሴንሻል ኦር ደ ኪ ፋክተር ለሞዴል ዲሲሽን። ስለዚህ ዲሲሽን ለመስጠት ኳሊቲ ዴታ እንደሚያስፈልግ ሁሉ ዲሲሽን ለመስጠት የምትጠቀመው ዴታ ሃቭ ቱ ሃቭ ሰርቴን ዌይ ኦፍ አይዲ ኦር አይደንቲፊኬሽን። ያንን ማግኘት ዘን ኤቢ ቴስት ማድረግ፣ ሃይፖቴሲሶችን ቴስት ማድረግ። እንዲህ ቢሆንስ፣ እንዲህ ቢሆንስ፣ እንዲህ ቢመጣስ፣ ይሄኛው ያላየሁት ከሆነስ። ለምሳሌ እነኚህ የኦልድ መኪኖች ስቲል ኦልድ ስለሆኑ ምናምን አደጋ ያደርሳሉ ምናምን ብለህ ብትል ሪሊ ያደርሳሉ ኦልድ ስለሆኑ ወር በሾፌሩ ምክንያት ነው ምናምን የሚለውን ያንን ቬሪፋይ ማድረግ ያንን ማየት ከዛ ለቢዝነሱ ቱፎልድ የሆነ በፕሪሚየሙ በማርኬቲንግ ስትራቴጂው የሚረዳቸውን መልስ መስጠት ማለት ነው። ኦቨርኦል ይሄ ነው ሀሳቡ። if it's not clear ወይም something further የምናደርገው ነገር ካለ ቃል ፎርዋርድ
አሪፍ ነው። እኔ ለምንድነው ቅድም ያልሽው ላይ ይቅርታ በአማርኛ የሆነ ትንሽ ኤክስፕሌን ቢደረግ ምናምን ያልኩት ምንድነው ያው የምንማረውም የተማርነውም የምንሰራው ምናምን በእንግሊዘኛ ነው የሚታወቅ ነገር ነው። ግን በቃ አይደል ቱ ዘ ላስት የሆነ ነገር አንደርስታንዲንግ ይኖረናል በምናውቀው ቋንቋ ሞር ስናወራ በሚል ነው። አመሰግናለሁ።
አይ ደስ ብሎኛል ከአንተም ስለመጣ እኔም ሞር ብነግርህ ደስ የሚለኝ በዛ ላይ ደግሞ የያዝከውን ነገ ብትሰራበት ደስ የሚለኝ እንደዛ ነው። ግን አት ዘ ሴም ታይም ምንም መርሳት የለብንም መሰለህ አሁን እኛ እናንተን ዛሬ ትሬን ስናደርጋችሁ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ለምትሰሩት ስራ ብቻ አይደለም ኢንተርናሽናሊም ኢሊጂብል ትሆናላችሁ ብለን ነው በእነዚህ ስቴቶች የምናስበው። ስለዚህ በተቻለ አቅም ይሄ ነው ለርኒንግ ታይማችሁ where you can learn things የሚወራውንም የሚባለውንም ሀሳብንም ኤክስፕሌን ማድረግ ካለብን እንደዛም እንደ ለርኒንግ ታይም ወስደ ነው ብንጠቀመው አሪፍ ነው። ግን እንደ ሀሳብ እኛም ሁለቱንም ለማስኬድ እንሞክራለን። አብዛኛው ያሉን ቲቶሮች አበሻም ስለሆኑ ችግር የለም።
ኦኬ ቴንክ ዩ በጣም እናመሰግናለን።
እሺ ሌላ ጥያቄ አለ? ሀሳብ ሌላኛው ሳላመሰግን የማላልፈው ማን ነበረ? ዳንኤል ቲንክስ ላይ አክቲቭ he's trying to share what he know what he found እና በተቻለን አቅም እኛም ያገኘናቸውን አሁን ለምሳሌ ኢንሹራንስ ኮንሰፕት ለአብዛኞቻችን አዲስ ከሆነና ለኛ የሰራልን ነው። ዲቪሲን ለምሳሌ ዲቪሲን አንደርስታንድ ለማድረግ ለኛ የሰራልን ሀሳብ ኦር ያገኘነው ሪሶርስ ለሌላውም ሰው ሊጠቅም ስለሚችል በተቻለ መጠን ሼር መደራረጉን ብንበረታበት አሪፍ ነው። ምክንያቱም ያኛው ሰውዬ ያንን ሁላ ሰርች ለማድረግ ከሚሄደው ጥረት አንጻር ይቀንስለታል። ከዛ ደግሞ ሌሎችንም ኤክስፕሎር አድርጎ ደግሞ እሱን ሼር ያደርጋል። ስለዚህ ኮላቦሬቲቭሊ ብዙ መማር እንችላለን በአንድ ሳምንት። ዳንኤል በጣም ከልብ እናመሰግናለን on behalf of the team. I think ለምሳሌ so if not we can wrap it up here and next ሴሽኖችም ይኖራሉ። ጥያቄዎችን አስተያየቶችን እዛ ላይ እናስኬዳለን። እናንተም በደንብ ይዩትና አትሊስት ግን ዛሬ ምንድነው ሁሌም ቻሌንጅ ኢንትሮዳክሽን ስንል ምንድነው ከእናንተ የምንጠብቀው መሰላችሁ? የመጀመሪያው በቃ ቻሌንጅን ዝም ብሎ ሰጥቶ ቱቶሪያል ከመስጠት ምንድነው ከቻሌንጁ ኤክስፔክት የሚደረገው ፋይናሊ እናንተ ምን እንድታውቁ ይፈልጋል። ግን ደግሞ ምንድነው ዴሊቨር ማድረግ ያለባችሁ ከምንስ መጀመር አለባችሁ የሚለውን ካወቃችሁ እና እሱ ላይ ክሊር ከሆነ አይ ቲንክ ያ በቂ ነው ለዛሬ ሴሽን። Okay, thank you everyone for the reaction and for joining. So thank you, bye.